Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I didn't press the go live button. Here I am live. So, good morning. It is Tuesday here in Tokyo, Japan. And today I want to talk about something that I know is a real hassle for a lot of people. And that is content. Content. And look, I absolutely get it. I must say that for so long, using LinkedIn in particular, because I found the money and the magic happened in the inbox, and it happened when I had this profile that looked great, and that it spoke to my avatar, and that when I reached out to my avatars with a certain type of messaging and approach that no one else was using, I was getting results and I was getting money that way. And the content side, that was just a kind of extra, and it really wasn't driving my funnel. And to this day, fast forward 15 years of using the platform, it's still the same. Those that can produce amazing content, are articulate, can write, are thought leaders and all that, great. They can build up a large audience, but it takes a huge amount of time on LinkedIn. It really does. Like, if you think just putting a piece of content up there and then you're going to get a flood of inquiries, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Now, I did an audit of one of the marketing voices of a particular country in LinkedIn. So he's ranked as the top voice for marketing. He does 28 posts a day. 28 posts a day on LinkedIn. He has about 200,000 followers. But even on his posts, he's getting engagement that's less than 0.5%. And, I know he's had a 2-year period of growing it and building it, and I understand that's his shtick, but I really have to wonder how much, and he hasn't answered. I haven't asked him that question directly, like how much money is he getting from it? And I dare say not as much as he would have hoped. And he's putting a hell of a lot of effort in. I still believe, and I've got years of my experience doing it and my clients' experience, where the money is made on LinkedIn really is having that funnel in place, which is all set up and designed for you to get into discussions with your ideal client avatars. That's where the money occurs, in that inbox, and when you take people off onto your sales calls. But what I wanted to talk about was content. And the way to, if you're like me and just like, I freaking hate making stuff. I mean, I'm a procrastinator. I admit it. I like the pressure of leaving something to the last moment and then trying to like bang it out. Just the way I operate, it's not healthy unless I pre-plan my days and really discipline myself to stick to it. But what I want to talk about was video. And the use of video, and just what I'm meaning video, I'm not talking overproduced video. I mean, look at mine. I don't do heavy production quality and blah blah blah. It's just not me. And maybe I should get better at. Probably should get better at it and whatever. But this is the reality. I think for the majority of people that are out there, I think many business owners, solopreneurs, small business owners, you're kind of like me. You're like, yeah, I'd like to do more of it. It's just like, oh, freaking hell. It's like, I've got other stuff to do. Plus, for a lot of people, like getting on video and doing a video is really, really challenging and really difficult. I don't like doing this. Maybe it seems that it's very natural now, but it's because I've done it a heap of times. But I can tell you what, unless I know what I'm talking about really, really well, the videos are horrible. Done some clangers. So, if you are going to do video, I absolutely recommend doing this with your videos. And with any content. Guys, you've got to start thinking about reuse and recycling, okay? Because the fact is, probably less than 1% of your network, maybe up to 3% of your network, especially on LinkedIn, when you do a post, are actually going to see it, right? So don't be afraid that, of recycling and reusing and reformatting types of content that you're going to get, people say, oh, I've seen this before. The fact is, when you have a clear message about your product or service, you do want to repeat that message over and over again. And if you look at politics, that's a classic example. These politicians and poor you guys in America, you've got another election coming up and already the cycle starts. In the Western civilized countries like Australia, there's a limited time period where people can actually do election campaigning. It's like a fixed 6 weeks and that's it. So you're not bombarded for like a year and a half. Anyway, the point I wanted to make is these politicians make a very clear message. They have like one clear message and they hammer it over and over and over and over again. Okay? And so, like, you know, for Trump, it was the wall, build the wall. It was make America great again. And it was the same message over and over again. And whenever these people go, hey, Tish, I'll get to your question in a sec. Whenever these politicians go to a different city, they give the same canned speech. They give the same message. So that's how you've got, because it works, right? And that's why advertisements on TV, you know, it's not like 20 different advertisements. They'll run 1 to 3 ads and it's the same one over and over again. Repetition works. It just does. So guys, don't be afraid that you've got to constantly produce absolutely unique individual pieces of content and put it out there, you know, constantly to be noticed. If you look at any of the marketing gurus out there, they'll have like 3 to 5 different kind of themes and they just cycle through. Cycle through. And usually it's centered around the top 5 to 10 problems that their ideal clients have. And you talk about those problems and you amplify those problems. You show those problems what they are. You amplify it and you say there's a solution there. That's the PAS model. Problem, agitate, solve has been used for decades, right? So get it over your head, guys, that the content that you create doesn't have to be this, you know, earth-shattering every single time. You can recycle, repurpose, and reuse, and that's what I want to talk about today. So when you do a video, and you know you don't want to have to produce a whole heap of other supporting content, it's time to use that video for leveraging your time. So these are some things, and I just want to throw them out in kind of a random order, just for you to start thinking about how you could use it. But first, Tish, you said cool, but I'm never sure if I'm on the right page when I do my videos. Yeah. I think the best thing you can do with any kind of video, Tish, is, you know, there's all these courses out there. I'm no way am I a video guru at all. But what I think that works well, of course, you know, you want to capture interest and you want to have a main problem that you solve. But I think any kind of video is talking to that the pain points and showing that there is a problem, and then agitating that problem and showing like these are the consequences of not fixing that problem, and this is how it shows up in your business, in your life, and hey, here's a solution. It's like this, and if you want to learn more, you know, contact me. I think the PAS, problem, agitate, solve, you know, it's an old copywriting strategy, as I said, been around for decades. It works well for video as well. Okay, but anyway, talking about video, this is what to do when you have a video. Okay, don't just let it sit and fester forever. Put it up on YouTube. And I know YouTube, you're meant to have different type of video formats and stuff. Look, again, I'm lazy, and I know many of you don't want to pay that much attention to doing all this, but at least, you know, put it up on YouTube straight away anyway, right? Because YouTube's going to be there forever. If you do some keyword and hashtagging and blah, 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 you know, it's always going to be there and always can be found. But this is where it gets interesting. When you have a video, one of the things you can do is get it transcribed. Okay, get it transcribed. Now, the transcription services, they've got better and better and better and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And there's two. There's one called rev.com, rev.com, and one called Timmy, TEMI.com. Rev and Timmy. I wonder if I can make comments on my wall. Rev and Timmy. So with Rev, basically, I think it's like $1 a minute or something like that, and it would do a transcription fully of your video, and you know someone's actually checking it and correcting it, and it's pretty accurate. Now, a really fast one, and I prefer this one for kind of internal use, is Temi.com, TEMI.com. They're owned by Rev, actually, and Temi is a automated one. It's just a computer driven transcription, and it's like a cent per minute or something, or 10 cents per minute. It's cheap as chips, right? Really, really cheap. But that will give you a full transcription of what you've got. Now, with that transcription, there's a whole host of things that you can do and recycle and repurpose it, guys. One, you can get that transcription and you can give it to an editor or a ghostwriter and say, I want 500 word to 800 word articles based off this video. Nice and easy. Like if you're following a problem, agitate, solve, or you're giving tips, a how to, or whatever this is, I'm sure that in that video there's at least one article, but there's probably two. It can be a 2-part article. So you can give this video transcription to an editor and say, hey, I want you to produce a 500 or 800 word article, 2 of them. Right, nice and easy. You can put this training together, especially if it's rev.com. You could turn it into an ebook. If you've done a long training, maybe you've done a video that's an hour and 30 minutes or so, you can actually then have that fully transcribed. You can then, again, palm it off to an editor and have, put a project up in Upwork and have it made into an ebook. Nice and easy. Getting it made into a PDF, get it made into some kind of written content. Really easy to do. It's going to cost you like $30-40. Really, there's enough editors out there on Upwork and freelancer.com now. Don't go Fiverr. What I like to do, if I'm going to use a writer, I tend to find someone in my local market or the market that I'm actually selling the product into. Okay, for a number of reasons, when I go out of market, it just misses the mark. So it'll be more expensive, but I highly recommend that. So transcribe, give it off to an editor, either have articles, PDF, ebooks made from it. Nice and easy. Another thing that you can do is you could probably pull out about 10 status update posts for LinkedIn, where you can post an idea, post a thought, or for Facebook, what are you thinking now? You could, from one video with the transcribe, there's probably 10 posts in there, just one-liners, comments, observations, questions that you had, whatever. Again, this can be done by someone else. You don't have to do it yourself. You can once you've got a writer, you can continue to use them. But from that one video, there is probably at least 10 status updates that can be used, recycled, repurposed, right? Nice and easy. Then if another thing that you can do to mix up your media, everyone sees this, they see like the nice image and it's got some kind of quote. Well, this is your chance to make your own quotes. There's probably at least 5 different quotes that you could pull out from your video, from your transcript, and nice and easy, use Canva, nice image, boom, with a quote. Boom, you can share that across all your media. So easy, right? That's done for you. I also find that you could take a video series of these articles as well, the transcriptions that can be made into training logs, and used in, for example, if you have a Facebook group, in the learning section, you can put the posts in the learning section, so it's different units. So don't be afraid to do that. Also, when you have these videos, if you have a series of videos and you've been following a calendar of content where maybe for Mondays you're talking about, for example, if I was talking about profiles on LinkedIn first and how to fix them and all the issues surrounding them, and I did that for a month, and I had 4 videos about profiles, and then on Tuesdays I did a video on messaging, and then in that month I have 4 different videos about messaging. Well, the same thing, take them, get them edited. You can find an editor who can stitch multiple articles together, multiple videos together. That will give you a bit of a different feel if you're wearing different clothes. I mean, I've got a whole heap of these t-shirts, but you can have that video so it's stitched like that. That kind of content looks quite nice. I've seen quite a nice range of videos where people are presenting ideas, and then it's obviously in different settings, but it has that thread flowing through, and that can come up really nice. So I like that when you've got single videos, and then obviously when you have multi videos. But going back to the original, as I was saying, I think when you do the video, don't just let it die and sit there, but go through that transcription. You know, think of those ways: articles, PDFs, ebooks, status updates, quotes. They're just, you know, 5 different ways of using that video content. It's made, it's done, and then you've recycled, reused it, repurposed it, and you get a hell of a lot more traction out of it than just doing one live, leaving it forever. Yeah. If you've got any other ideas of how to use a video, put them in the comments. Love to hear kind of other ideas. But I have found that when you do that, it can absolutely stretch out content creation, and it can just speed up the time. Hey Cynthia, good to see you. So that's my recommendations. I hope it gives you a tip, and hope you use it. Thanks, Tish. Good to see you. All right, I'm out of here, guys. See you later.